Hey everyone, back tuning into today's video. Going to have a look at the weather next 8 to 10 days. In today's video, we're going to keep it really unsettled, and we're also going to keep it very mild across the south particularly. The north will be a little bit colder for the rest of this week and into the weekend, but even there it's probably going to turn milder again as we go through into next week. So I'll have a look at the charts next 8 to 10 days time. There's no sign of winter biting at the moment, I can tell you that. We'll also have a look at central temperature, because it has been an exceptionally mild December so far. If we keep it at this level, we will easily break the warmest Decembers on record. So I'll have a look at all the detail on that in a second. Also have a look at the rainfall over the weekend. I don't think it's going to be quite as bad as it's looking like it could be yesterday. So loads going on. Before we get on with all of that, though, just to say about the assets, links, pages, gas service, have browse widgets, click through the links. It's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks very much for doing that. This video adds to most pages. You say open up the content when you watch them close back up again. That's how to pay the website. And the Christmas shop is open, so you've got link to Christmas shopping too at Amazon between now and Christmas. Just click through the Amazon banners and do Christmas shopping at Amazon. We'll get a revenue fee at the thing for the things that you are purchasing. Thanks so much for doing that. It's going to be a Christmas update tonight. The 18th one will be on the Christmas page, so come back to that. Come back for that tonight. So here's the central temperature provisional up to the 9th. So we currently stand at 10.3, an anomaly of over 5 degrees above average, can you believe? I say that's provisional up to the 9th of December. That's way above the warmest Decembers on record. There's 2 of them. We'll have a look at the past years right now. So we've got 2 years back to our joint warmest for December. We've got 1974, which is this year just here, which came out at 8.1 in December 1974. That was an exceptionally mild month, obviously. And the joint warmest December on record, with a year even further back. We have to go back to 1934 for the other year that holds the record December central England temperature. And again, that came out at 8.1 as well. So very interestingly, 1934 and 1974 both came out with a CET of 8.1, and they hold the record as the joint 2 warmest years on record for December. Now, currently, we are way above that. We're over 2 Celsius above that at 10.3. So, I mean, even if we get a bit of a cool down at some point through the month, will we go under that 8.1 Celsius from 1934 and 1974? We may not do so. We could be on course for the warmest December on record. And that would be quite a shocker, actually, because that record from 1934 is one of the longest standing CET records, actually. So it would be quite a shock to break that. And of course, we'd be breaking 1974 at the same time. So watch this space and see how that develops. It's only going to take one potent cold spell, though, to take it off the table. So we'll have to wait and see. It's still early days in the month, but it is worth keeping an eye on it. In any case, it's going to be a very mild month. Even if we don't break the record, it will be one of the mildest Decembers on record. And that follows on from one of the mildest Novembers on record as well. So we are having an exceptionally mild spell of weather just at the moment. So yesterday we were talking about the chance of very significant rainfall across northern England, particularly when I did the 5-day forecast. And yesterday evening, if you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, you'll know that there was a very, very alarming forecast turning up yesterday evening from the GFS model, where we was predicting something like 300 millimetres of rain for parts of Wales and northwestern England and Ireland over the coming 10 days. Thankfully, the GFS has toned that down a lot overnight, so this is the precipitation accumulation forecast for the next 10 days from the weatheroutlook.com from the GFS model. You see it is still going for a significantly wet 10-day period through this swathe across Ireland into North Wales and northwestern England, where we're predicting anything up to 100 millimetres of rain. That's a lot of rain, particularly as it's already been very wet. So it could certainly produce more flooding, but it's not the catastrophe that the model was predicting with some of its runs yesterday. You notice also Western Scotland, we're up to around 120 to 150 millimetres of rain. Very wet up there, but of course they're used to it up in that part of the world. It's normally a very wet place anyway. But that could produce some flooding across the Outer Hebrides. Now to the east, there's not a great deal going on in parts of East Anglia and South East England. Just predicted to have 20 millimetres of rain over the next 10 days. That's not particularly wet at all. It is indicative, this, of the southwesterly, westerly dominating weather at the moment, which means the east and the southeast gets the driest of the weather. Now, having said that, the model has toned things down for the next 10 days. We are still expecting some very wet weather across northern England on Saturday. So this is the rainfall forecast from a GFS model for Saturday. This 6 o'clock in the morning. Notice already very wet across Ireland, coming down to Wales, southwestern parts of England. That pushes northwards and eastwards through Saturday. And again, it's this swathe of rain setting up across Ireland, northern England, down in towards North Wales. It does look very wet there on Saturday afternoon. However, unlike yesterday when this was predicted to just go on and on and on from Saturday through Sunday into Monday with no let-up, now the model is keen to tone things down a bit on Saturday night. So conditions are beginning to ease here across northern England at midnight on Sunday. And we have still got some patchy rain left on Sunday morning, but it certainly isn't as heavy or as significant as the model was predicting. Yes, yeah. This rain actually pushes back northwards again as we go through Sunday, pushes up into Scotland, where it could turn to snow as it starts to hit that colder air. So yes, very wet across northern England, particularly on Saturday. Could certainly produce more flooding because it's already saturated up there. Of course, rivers are already full. But hopefully, and of course this could get upgraded again, but hopefully at the moment it isn't looking like the catastrophic sort of flooding and rainfall potential that model was indicating yesterday. Right, let's have a look at the 500 millibar height anomalies for the next 10 days. We've got the ECMWF here on the top, and the GFS is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 8,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Blue is extrapolating to low pressure, and orange, red, extrapolating to high pressure. I say these are the mean flow charts for the next 8 to 10 days' time. And this takes us to around the 20th of December. Both in agreement really with the pattern. The ECMWF shows this big ridge here across many central and western parts of Europe. Trough of low pressure in the Atlantic means that the jet stream does that, drags up mild air out of the tropical Atlantic and pushes it northwards into the UK and most parts of Europe. This trough in the Atlantic keeps the north and west wet. The ridge across central parts of Europe keeps southern eastern parts of the country with a fair amount of dry weather. Not completely dry, but it will be drier down in the south and the southeast. A bit different from the GFS because it's got a trough of low pressure generally deeper and further south in the Atlantic, but the broad pattern is still the same with the jet stream going rather like that. It's mild and probably more unsettled than what we see from the ECMWF, but they're both sort of in agreement here that low pressure is in the Atlantic. We've got a ridge through central, southern and western parts of Europe, so at the very least it's staying mild for the next 8 to 10 days' time. Here are the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. Temperatures first of all, this is the 30-year average, this thick red line just here. We're going a bit cooler tomorrow. After that, the temperatures pick up, look like staying mild really through most of next week, staying above the red line, so there's nothing there, nothing doing there really to offset this record-breaking temperature that we've had so far through the course of December. There's no sign that we cool things down particularly. As we go through towards Christmas, this is the Christmas period just here, dates are on the bottom of the chart of course, we do see a bit of a cooling trend. A lot of scatter there though, nothing particularly indicated. Just some members of the ensemble are going a bit colder, some are keeping it very mild, and probably the trend is down a little bit towards Christmas, but certainly no sign of anything desperately cold there, and it's a long way off right at the end of the chart anyway. And you'll notice the rainfall spikes, they just keep on and on and on. So rain coming up through the rest of this week, rain coming up over the weekend into next week, and running up towards Christmas, we just keep further bands of rain coming through. And that will be particularly effective in north and west, less so in the south and southeast. But even there, it won't be universally dry. Temperature anomalies for the coming week, is going from the 10th to the 18th of December, is significantly milder than average. Notice the whole of Europe milder than average, except for Norway, which does look like it's turning a bit colder. But other than that, virtually everywhere across Europe, from Ireland and Portugal in the west to Russia in the east, is above average. Westerlies rule basically, and the precipitation anomaly comes out around or above average, particularly wetter than average through Ireland and northern parts of England, but generally an unsettled period coming up. The generic charts, this is GFS for Monday, and low pressure is out to west, still throwing up bands of rain and mild southerly southwesterly winds across the country. That low pressure does ease a little bit through to the middle of next week, allows a bit of high pressure to build to the north. This could be quite interesting if you like cold weather, because it is setting up this ridge across Scandinavia, or south of Scandinavia, and to the north of Scotland. But its days are numbered, really. It doesn't take long for that to be shoved off eastwards as more low pressure starts to pile in from the Atlantic on Thursday, the 17th of December. Again, notice the winds have very quickly gone back into the south. We follow the isobars back, air being dragged up from the Azores, so very mild air comes back into the second half of next week. And then we keep it very unsettled to the end of next week. This is Friday the 18th. Low pressure bringing in lots of rain and strong winds across the country, still very mild for most places. By day 10, this is certainly the 20th of December, and just ever so slight hints that it's turning colder as we begin to dig the jet stream a bit further south and start to pull the winds more from a northwesterly or northerly type direction. That could finally start to bring some wintry conditions in towards Scotland, but it's a very, very long way off that, and I'm not sure about that evolution at all. ECWF, again, there's a low pressure out to west on Monday, throwing up bands of rain and very mild southerly southwesterly winds as well. We keep it mild through to the middle part of next week, further bands of rain. The south and east gets the driest weather on Thursday, the 17th, up to the north and west, further bands of rain coming through. Look how far south the air is being dragged up with this southerly southwesterly flow. We're talking about air from the Canaries, somewhere like that. So it will be exceptionally mild later on next week, again, if that comes off. And then we end up on day 10, perhaps just starting to shift the jet stream southwards a little bit, perhaps beginning to bring some cooler air into the north and the west. But really, that's still westerly dominated, and it is still unsettled with further bands of rain. So we've had a really wet start to December, and exceptionally mild as well, record-breakingly mild. And there's no sign really that we're changing this. It is turning a bit colder for the next few days across Scotland. Other than that, it's generally going to be staying mild or very mild. Will be a bit cool in the south tomorrow, I suppose, but generally it's mild right through to the middle part of the month, probably beyond the middle of the month as well. And just further bands of rain coming in. So if you want cold weather, it's about as bad as it gets at the moment. We will hopefully get an improvement as we move towards Christmas. And talking of Christmas, we'll be doing the Christmas update. We'll be doing the Christmas update on the Christmas updates page this evening at around 7 o'clock. So come back for that. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.